there's nothing I can add to it. So anyway, Paul Lambert will start.
Thank you. It's not working.
Technological klutz. There's a little button somewhere, you know, on the other side.
Where?
On the other side.
Okay, I can shout loud.
I can hear it.
Oh yeah, all right. Yeah.
Hello.
You know,
Okay, so it's a great pleasure for me to open this series of talks. So as you see, it's the title of my talk is Sid Fest, a random walk through a long friendship, and this is jointly with Gerda, my wife, and it's from the University. It's from the University of Oberdorf in Switzerland. This little photograph you've seen, so that's not really a big part of my talk. It's sort of the earliest photograph I found of Sid in Purdue in 1970. But I'm not going to talk about that. That we saw today. One thing, I mean, that a couple of you know already.
Bravo.
I will do a little random walking through history with the Resnick family. The first thing is that we've always been extremely interested in buying or getting Resnick art. And of course, if I talk about Resnick art, it has nothing to do with Sid. This is about Rachel and Mina, I think it's. So here is my present collection of Rachel art. And Mina, so if you come to our house in Oberdorf, you'll find this painting hanging there. It's roughly the size of that, which is sort of a, well, you can ask Mina the story behind that particular picture. I think it's a pride in our house. But then there is a very interesting early piece of art of Rachel, which I will show in a minute, where is the original. And of course, like it's the originals of Van Gogh and so, of course, Rachel, we really hope you make it very famously. I think this is perhaps one of the earliest Rachels in the world. Now, Rachel wrote this Love Rachel to Gerda. Now, why did she write that? Because at home we have this little booklet, and to make sure that it's true, the first page of the booklet is true. It's like that. Now, what is that? So I said earlier today in my talk, I will have some questions for you. Sid, do you remember where you were on January 15, 1982? Do you recall what you ate? And do you recall the wine you drank? This is the question.
Belgium.
You were in Belgium, indeed. As written down in this little booklet, which Gerda started, it says here on this first page, vreemde gasten.
Oh.
Which means, Thomas knows.
Weird friends.
Which means foreign guests. And the Resnicks are number 2 in this booklet. The first one was Laurie Davis.
Okay.
And indeed, on the 15th of January 1982, this is the first page of this booklet. You were a guest in our house, and I'll blow it up a little bit. I mean, sorry, in those days we didn't know you very well, so we missed out on the sea in the restaurant. But at least this little booklet has the menu that you ate in our house. It was waterkers roomsoep, lasagna, and citroen kwark crème. And the wine we drank was a Beaujolais, a Brouilly, in 1979. I'm sure you remember. So this is
only 1 year old.
This is indeed the first page in this little booklet. I must say, when we mentioned that, Gerda always finds it. Since those days, we have been moving perhaps 10 times. And she always finds this little booklet. So that's the original. Rachel is still there. You can check it later. Okay. Second story. Second story. A couple of years later.
Final score.
A couple of years later he came to us and he said, well, he was really bragging. He said, well, I want to play basketball with my younger son in those days, my oldest son, but he was younger in those days, Chris Mann. And he said, I've got these fantastic titanium glasses. They're unbreakable. Like here. Well, they weren't. And indeed, we played in Oberordorf, a famous basketball game. And so, they simply could not withstand the might of the world-famous Oberordorf basketball team. And I mean, the two players that we played against were Chris Van Jordan and Paul LeBron. Now, we are playing against... let me check that my eyes are not so good. Yeah, I think it's you, Sid. So, sorry for that, but no, let me correct, because otherwise we'll be very angry.
And the final score was?
He won. Yeah. But at least we broke his unbreakable titanium glasses.
I was playing basketball and you were playing rugby.
Then there was a 1996 Cornell book. It's a sabbatical devoted to writing the book, and this is a proof for Thomas and Claudia that was actually working.
Oh no.
So it's perhaps very good. I tried. The NSA could do it better. I tried to read the email which was on my screen, which I'm sure was an email from Thomas. But you see, I'm sort of having a very healthy mix of American food in making sure that I go well through writing this book. I mean, it was a wonderful time. But there were some issues. I do recall that in those days, Sid was rather hard up money-wise. I don't know whether you recall that. Do you know the photograph that's coming now?
Nope.
This is really horrible. So it was really...
I'm sure it's Photoshop.
So here you come as a Swiss professor, you come a visiting professorship, and the famous professor Sid Resnick gets you from the air, from whatever. And that's the kind of car he was driving. So,
it's a cultural issue. It's a cultural issue. It's a difference between the Swiss sort of mentality and American mentality. It's a very famous American car. It's simply misunderstood.
You mean that kind of thing is very famous American?
It has a lot of personality.
Sid says it adds a lot of personality. I think he looks a bit rusty here.
The worst thing is he could sell it.
That's American. Anyhow, so I could not sort of... It looks to me a bit like ouch. By the way, this is you, Sid.
No, it's called Bond.
And then the way his students know him, one picture we have seen before, and these are pictures the two first I saw in the halls of ORIE and Cornell. The last one we've seen before. So the students know him as Sid the Joker. They also know him as just simply as King Sid, or even more simply as we saw today as Chairman Sid. Now for those who are not there today, you must ask Thomas the link to Lenin and the sausage fingers here. That's for those who are there today. But like all good wine, now I'm getting serious.
Oh.
Just for a short time. Like all good wine, Sid eventually matured to an excellent drop. Here are the friends, or some of the friends, with Genna, I mean, co-organizer of the Fence of A. This is sort of, you remember where this photograph was taken?
Colorado. No?
Colorado, Fort Collins, yeah. But of course, also there, things like this happen. Occasionally Sid slides into a 1969 mode, which is of his sort of his period of maturity, I think, or immaturity, I don't know. But anyhow.
That's when I got married.
Luckily, his friends are always at hand to support him. By the way, this is just 2 minutes after I took the previous photograph. Well, anyhow, still a bit seriousness. Sid, many thanks for your academic leadership. I think from all of us, not all the books are there, but I think you did a fantastic job for guiding us, I think, through the world of extremes. so many wonderful papers, but also, I think also on behalf of Gerda and myself and my family, many thanks for your much appreciated friendship over all those years. I think it's true and fine to say, I think that whenever we meet, we have fun. But also whenever we meet...
We don't do anything serious.
Whenever we meet, I think it feels warm and pleasant. I think that's what academia is all about. So, now for the present. We've decided to give you a little present. And this is a quiz. You can only give the present when the audience gets it right. So, you know that normally for the running in Risk Club, we're giving t-shirts. This year I've decided to go for a t-shirt, which is the official t-shirt from the Swiss Society of Statisticians. Now, this is true. The following t-shirts are the 3 winning t-shirts out of a level of a number of 7. And one of those I brought for you. And so I will do a tally, asking the audience which t-shirt do they think I brought or we brought for Sid. These are the 3 t-shirts. So the first t-shirt says, it looks a box plots in the outline, I'm extraordinary. The second t-shirt, this is all true. The second t-shirt is I'm normal. The third t-shirt tells you it's kind of a reliability, industrial engineering. Of course, I know the name changed. I'm out of control. Now, here comes a tally. Who of this audience thinks that the t-shirt we brought for Sid is number 2? I'm normal.
Compared to him, I'm normal.
This reminds me, for those who know the beautiful movie of, well, it's an interesting movie of Monty Python, The Life of Brian.
Oh no. Kill me now!
There's this one scene where he's standing at the window and all their cry, yes, you're the Messiah, we follow you. And he says, no, you're all different. And then one voice says, I'm not, so that's cool. If it wouldn't have been Thomas, I wouldn't have said, you just don't know Sid. It's very good you did it, Thomas. Very good. So, okay. So clearly we did not bring t-shirt number 2. Now, think just for 1 second. You don't have to write it down, but I would like to see you raise your hands, and please, all of you make a choice. Do you think that Gerda and I brought as a present for Sid, I'm extraordinary? Or do you think Gerda and I brought for Sid, I nearly said Chris, t-shirt number 3, I'm out of control. Okay, so first of all, who thinks we brought I'm extraordinary?
Don't we have clickers?
Okay, who think I'm out of control? I told you later today, I've got this extra, how to call them, extra sensual, whatever.
Extra sexual.
Extra what? Extra what? I told you, I will guess beforehand the kind of thing which is in this package. And indeed, of course, overwhelmingly you supported the choice of the t-shirt that we brought for you. So Sid is totally out of control. So on this little note, Sid, we wish you all the best for many, many years to come. All the best for you and your family. All the best for you and your friends. All the best for you and your science. And thank you very much on behalf of Gerda and myself, and also our family, for being there. Thank you. And a little present also for the family. Sorry. I'll leave that to me now.
Okay. Are we done?
Yeah, you wish. Has to wear it.
too.
People shake it too much.
Stop doctor. Maybe because of Sid.
Well, it's really
You're giving another talk? You can't hear me.
because
It was just after Sid. It wasn't the last practice semester.
I still have your learn.
Absolutely.
You would have been a monster.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, maybe I can still start again.
Yeah, turn it up.
Although Richard doesn't give it. I don't need this.
Speak up.
I was done.
You really want me to open?
What is it?
How do I know? I haven't opened it.
Oh. Oh.
Uh-huh.
There's a nice bouquet of flowers. This is for my wife. Minnow, you want to come up here and receive these?
I should give them to Patty.
Yeah. This is for I don't know how many years of marriage and putting up with your husband.
46 years.
Thank you.
The Davis listening device.
So Sid complains that he can't hear me.
I have no idea why.
I don't know why either. And I could give the same address I gave last time at the roast, because he said nobody heard me. So use the same thing twice. Why don't you read what's on that thing?
You need a visual aid? I mean,
No.
put this end up to ear. Davis listening device. Tip. For best results, keep mouth shut while listening. You sure this was meant for me?
No. Well, hold it up there and turn your head. Okay. So I thought I didn't finish the talk this morning, so I'll just continue. Is there any?
Yeah, this one.
Okay, so this is part of the program where we play a little game. And actually, Patty named this W squared S squared, which is what would Sid say? Or what did Sid say? So I'm going to give you some scenarios, and your job is to guess what Sid said. And you said, listen to that thing. Read that. It says, keep your mouth shut. So here's a very simple warm-up one. Right? This is very obvious. When the president of Colorado State University told Sid that the sunshine in Colorado is free, Sid said, this is a group participation.
So, yeah, it's a multiple choice.
It's not multiple choice. I forgot that most of the crowd's from Cornell. They needed some help. Come on, man. This is you know exactly what it is.
There's no free lunch.
I'm stunned. I thought this was a warm-up example. Sid said,
Yeah.
he said, that 50 cents will get you right in the New York subway. For which the president said, it's actually 75 cents. Okay, let's get serious now.
Oh, this one's easy, and I think he alluded to it before. What did Sid call the proof with Richard completed at Burger King while eating Whoppers?
What's a heavy meal?
Happy Meal. I like you getting in the spirit of this. Anyone want to take a guess? Sid knows.
That's what I remember.
Yeah. Sid said, the Burger King proof. After a little break, Sid and I were working, and we went outside his office, and he was talking with Peter Rocco. And he said, and he made some comment. Actually, this is a quote. With Richard, you never know what's going to fall apart first. Sid said, and continued.
You want me to tell you?
No, this is a little hard, actually. But does anyone want to venture a guess? Sid said, his proof for his clothes. You see what I had to put up with all these years?
You didn't tell them that your shirt had a hole in it.
That's where his head sticks out.
No. That's where his arm was.
This one may only be comprehended by a few people in the audience. When asked about the status of his paper, George O'Brien, many of you know George O'Brien, said that he's waiting for his co-author, Wim Verlaat, to generalize some of the results.
That will take a long time.
Sid said, I'll just... So nobody would understand it. And if you know Wim Verlaat, he generalizes everything, so it's incomprehensible to anybody. So one time, Sid and I were having lunch with my wife Patty in the student center at Colorado State, and we were talking about D, the space D01 to the D01 power. This is a little hard to explain to the layperson. And Patty's pretty smart. Sid said, do you remember this?
No. I think this one you're making up.
Sid said, this is like the absurd raised to the absurd power. If you know D01.
That's not a bad answer. I was pretty smart in those days.
When Sid came up with some clever phrasing in one of our papers, I said, Sid, you should have taught high school English.
Oh my God.
Okay, everyone besides Sid and Phyllis. Any guesses about what Sid said?
He's still in high school.
Good one.
Or.
He said, you should have taken high school English. I think it's easy working with Sid. After telling Sid, my audiologist confirmed that I had hearing loss. Sid said, you know this one, right?
He's been deaf for years.
Sid said, you kind of got it wrong. You give people hearing loss.
Nana needs another bouquet.
Or another drink.
Okay. Joseph, the visitor to New York, he and I met. We're going to meet Sid for lunch on a restaurant on Broadway. On the walk over, a homeless person asked him if he had any money. And Joseph could not wait to relate the story to Sid. Because this homeless guy asked him and not me. So that mean to Joseph that meant that I'm a New Yorker now, and the homeless person wouldn't ask a New Yorker for money. But Sid had a different explanation. Sid said,
He dressed like a homeless man.
exactly, you got that wrong. Rich sure looks like a homeless guy. We don't ask each other for money. Okay, this is the last one. Phyllis, a PhD student, this is Phyllis here, apologized for making a mistake on one of her slides. Sid said, if that is the only mistake you make in your life, you'll have a good life. And this is the only example I could find of Sid not being caustic. It's true. There's existence proof here. Not sure if anything else, but anyway, Sid, it's been great working with you for the last, I don't know how many years.
Don't count.
Don't count, but it's been really fun coming back to New York, or I shouldn't say coming back, coming to Columbia. To kind of reacquaint our working together and just getting to see each other more than once every 6 or 7 years. So, and as I said at the roast, you're responsible for a lot of things in my life, both good and bad. Happy birthday.
At least you were still warm and dry, that was.
Yeah, so this is before, not the
Yeah,
after.
the before, not the after.
Okay, so I want also to say a few things. There is nothing much I can add sort of from the point of view of the photos. I don't have any rare photos of Sid. I tried, but I could not get any of them. And I don't have as long experience with Sid as some of my more senior colleagues like Paul and Richard. But I just want to throw, I worked alongside Sid for many years, so I've been privileged to work alongside Sid for many years. So, and I have sort of a longer, perhaps, history knowing Sid that maybe Sid even realizes. So, not everybody was at the talks during the day. So there was sort of a little competition during the day. How long people have known Sid, right? Some people have known Sid since 90. What those sort of various people sort of met Sid at different times. So, for example, I actually met Sid probably earlier than most, but it was sort of a one-dimensional meeting, one-directional meeting. So it was kind of a meeting that, not all meetings are symmetric. So let me explain how it came about. So this again just give me an opportunity to tell you something about Sid's sort of story and his professional career in life that maybe not everybody here knows. So I was a PhD student at the Technion in Israel, and Sid, so I started my master's degree somewhere in 1980. Sid visited Technion in 1982, right? Is this correct? So Sid visited Technion in 1982. I think Sid taught a course, like an advanced course, right? It was, at least that's I remember. So, I was I was a graduate student, not even a PhD student. I was a master student. Everybody was talking about the famous professor from the US coming to teach there, and they showed me who Sid was, So I definitely met Sid at that time. I knew what he was. He, as I said, he did not quite work in the other direction. But at the very least, I am competitive as far as the timing of the first meeting is concerned. But okay, and then and then I started talking to my professor at the Technion, and I found out that Sid had a long history with the Technion, then it just came in there in 1982. So Sid actually turned out that not just with Technion, Sid actually had the longest story with Cornell as well. So Sid came to Cornell the first time, it was probably in 1969, right? So Sid was still a PhD student. If any one of you wondered where these wonderful pictures of Sid, when with one photo of Sid that we have on the conference program was taken, it was taken during the time when Sid was visiting Cornell. No? Okay, so sorry, it might have been, but it was so. I must have misjudged. Anyway, so after that, so Sid went and visited, and the first Sid's position was actually at the Technion. And what Technion was 1970 to 1972. So that was actually when it was, again, it was Sid sort of, as we heard from both Paul and Richard, a lot of things that Sid does, they are never standard. So for example, Sid spent those 2 years as a regular faculty member at the Technion. How many professors in the US you know that both have a regular appointment as a professor at the university and play in an NBA team? Probably not a whole lot. Like Michael Jordan, to the best of my knowledge, was never a faculty member with a regular appointment. So I was told that when Sid was a faculty member at the Technion, he was actually playing in a professional league, right? It was Liga Bet. It was a professional league. He was playing for some team in the northern Israel, which people did not remember what team was it.
Maccabi Haifa.
Maccabi Haifa is
Wasn't that exotic?
So according to sort of again to my sources at the Technion, so Sid was a favorite of the fans. The fans would call him Amerikai, the American. So in my time again, sort of when I came to the Technion, it was 10 years later. At that time, there was another famous American in the Israel League, was Wolsey Perry. I don't know if you know. So he was also an American, but again, to the best of my knowledge, he didn't have an appointment at the Technion.
That was Dam Cham.
The what?
Dam Cham.
Dam Cham. Yeah, Dam Cham means the hot blood.
He got into a lot of fights.
Did he play basketball?
It did. Who played basketball? The other guy played basketball, right? He played basketball, right? Anyways, okay. So then at the time, of course, I could not possibly even hope that I would be able to work alongside Sid for that many years. So I was very lucky to get an offer from Cornell. So at that time, Sid was already a faculty member at Cornell. So he had 60 papers or so, by that time, to his name. It was absolutely great to be able to work with him. And then, of course, over the years, Sid for many years, Sid plays the role of an older brother, academically, to me. It was, was a really great experience. So, over the years, I've learned, a lot of things from Sid. I was reading his books, his papers, obviously, academically. So one thing I never tried to, of course, as you know from previous presentations, what I said before, I'd never try to play basketball against him. So Paul was brave enough, to play basketball. He managed to break his glasses.
I always assumed that's why you studied karate.
Right. I want to say, so I never tried to play basketball against him. But when I came to Cornell, I thought I was decent in soccer. As in high school, I played soccer against Paul and some of the Paul's colleagues. That's okay. So when I came to Ithaca, I tried to play for a while to play soccer against Sid, and did not work well. I see the Sid's intensity was way, way too much. So I decided to switch to martial arts instead of that. So much safer than than anything else. Working with Sid over the years was very positive, very nice experience. Like I said, I've learned a lot of things from Sid, both mathematically, but also not all in mathematical. So we wrote a fair number of papers together. I was reading Sid's writing. Nobody actually mentioned it, which I'm surprised. Not only Sid, does great things mathematically, but he writes amazingly well. Everybody here knows about the Happy Harry, right? So Happy Harry is a famous character. Sid's family knows about Happy Harry. We taught from Sid's book. But but one thing, when I was sitting and writing a paper or something, and every time I wrote a sentence, and then I would read it, to me it feeling I wrote it, somebody wrote it using bricks or something, it's this word here, another word here, and then I mentally think of Sid writing Happy Harry thing. It feels like, it flows like a river. Right, it's a humbling experience, thinking of how people can write, in such a nice way. And then, of course, this experience, we would write a paper together, would give Sid a draft, and Sid would, myself being Russian, so in Russian, those who don't know, there are no articles in Russian. So the Russian people, when I write a text in English, if I come to a noun, I toss a coin, and then I think which article to put, and then Sid would have a field day, making fun, of how how I write. And then of course again people implied it, but nobody said it explicitly. So Sid adds color, right, to basically any group of people he's in, right. So even if you've never met Sid before, just attending today this conference, right, you can already listen to what Sid said. So he adds color to it. And just seeing all those, you've seen all those photos of the Chairman Sid, and the King's joke, Anyway, so all those, those people from Cornell, you've seen all those photos of Sid covering the walls, right, in Rhodes Hall. There are not that many photos there like this. So so it's Sid. My photos are not there, or many other people's photos are not there. So you must be a pretty special person.
He's cuter than you.
That's debatable, but we can talk about this later. Anyway, so again, I cannot just want to I want to finish by saying once again, like many other people in this room, we are very privileged to have known Sid, or have worked with Sid. I'm particularly privileged to have worked with Sid for that many years, very close to him. We live next to each other. Those of you who don't know, his house is across the driveway from our house. So so it's really been a privilege. I certainly hope that that this will continue for many years to come. So thank you very much, Sid. No. All the rules.
Hello.
That's your second speech.
Haben Sie einen Cover?
So
So I wish I could say that I'm thinking of Sid every day, but in fact I don't quite. But instead I think of his wife every day. We have this beautiful prints of hers on our wall, and when I see her, I think of her, and maybe sometimes of Sid too. And go a long time back, like many of the others, time goes on. And I've always very much enjoyed Sid's caustic remarks, which have been lots of talking about. And maybe also the intensity in Sid, which is always there, not just in basketball. But I like to say, I just get to think about something, things we've done together. I enjoyed very much when we have been working together. And perhaps if, I don't remember chronology too well, but probably the first paper we wrote together was somehow the most pleasant paper I've ever written. That was, the story was this, that Casper de Vries had asked Lawrence de Haan a question which Lawrence then asked the rest of us, which was Sid and I. And I worked on it on a plane up to somewhere, which I suppose was Colorado. So that was about 3 hours more work. And then Sid was there, and I continued to work during the day. And we solved the problem during the day, and I was very satisfied. But I was even more satisfied next morning when Sid came back and had written the entire paper over the night. And so that was a real success story. It's also one of the most cited papers I had, so it was a real success story. And that, I mean, it's always been fun to work with Sid. You always learn new things, we get new ideas, and a real pleasure for people like me is that Sid does all the writing. So I don't need to do so much work. And I hope this will continue in years to come too. And I want to thank you very much for lots and lots of fun things together and good times together. And I'd like to wish you the best for the next 70 years and as many papers during those as before. So, happy birthday.
So, I've known of Sid for over 30 years, but it was in the sense of the Sid Resnick who wrote this paper or that book or whatever. And it probably was about a decade ago. We were at some conference. I don't know, I remember where the conference was. But somebody made an announcement who was not a Native American speaker. And the way he said it could be interpreted in a risque way. And I looked up, the people who were at the table with me, and only Sid caught my eye. He was also thinking about the way that could be interpreted. And if I remember right, he said something about my wife would roll her eyes if she heard that. So since then I've gotten to know Sid. Maybe it's because I was born in northern Jersey that I appreciate his joking and stuff. And I've gotten to know him better and better over the years. And about a month ago, I was brewing beer, and I thought, what could I give Sid? And the thought was very simple. I was brewing some beer. I made 2 different kinds of beer. So I thought I would give it to Sid and make it kind of fun and mathy. So this beer is a red lager, which has since been named Resnick Red. You can take a look at it. It's Stokash Shabrari. So random breweries. And it has a formula for the definition of extreme value distributions on it. And
Sid will find a mistake.
Sid may find a mistake in it. And the other one was actually a brown ale, so I just called it a brown ale. And then I realized that there was an obvious person. if he obvious reason for all this. If he has a drink of the brown and then has a drink of the Resnick, it's a brown Resnick process.
Well, the mic is open. Yes, please. Anybody? There is the family. You want to say something?
Want to retrieve your performance from the...
Hello. I was not prepared for this, so I'll improvise. Okay, I met Sid in the Netherlands. Actually, no, I met Sid when I was at Cornell, student of Ghana, but we just met for a second. And then I met the year after in the Netherlands. And we had fun together because I didn't know too much about the Netherlands. And Onno Boxma told us, go with Sid and go to see Kogenaren, the Tulips Park. Keukenhof. Yeah. Imagine that I still don't speak very well English, and at that time I just was 1 year that I was speaking English, so I wasn't able to. And Sid speaks like he speaks, you know, with the sarcastic jokes every time. So I think that I was a few days with him going around without understanding this guy. but it was fun. I think that I still don't understand him completely, but that's fine.
Now you know what my wife is.
Yeah. But then he came to my office with some idea, and he was like, you know, Doc from Back to the Future. So he says, sorry if my model is a little bit, it's not very good, the modeling of the Doc, that is perfect actually. He went, and every time that he came back, he was able to express many mathematical ideas very easily. And I think I had very much fun. And I think that was one of the few moments doing research that I had fun. So I think it's a great thing. So I really like Sid, and even if we didn't have a very long time like you had together, I think he's a very nice person, and I'm happy to have met him. So thanks a lot. You don't want to hang me.
Yeah, just don't break my phone. Anybody else want to say before Ken?
After this.
One last call for...
Well, last chance. Anybody? Well, see, you're off the hook. You're off the hook.
No, I have one or two things to say.
Shall I switch on?
I know, but he makes such a meal of it.
Ja, Holger would say, och jag får se. What was a test? Was a test a test?
Okay, folks, tell the truth. Could anybody hear Richard Davis tonight?
Did he speak?
Okay. You know the homeless story? So who was that person?
It was you.
Okay. I appreciate the fact that many of you have returned from the bar, including Randy. I appreciate the fact, what? Many of you made an effort to come from short and long distances, some from very long distances, and I really appreciate it. And I know that there was a lot of work behind the scenes by several people, and I appreciate that also. David has been very supportive, and Jessica and Sherry, and I guess she's not here. Jake? Yeah, Jake. Boy, I have to be nice too, otherwise they'll take an embarrassing photo. So like I said in Ithaca, everybody has different ideas about what it means to get older. And I will just tell you 3 things that I'm getting used to slowly. You go on the subway, and all of a sudden everybody's jumping up to give you a seat. This is something new. In Singapore, everybody was jumping up to give Minna the seat. So I told her I was going to get a t-shirt which said, "I'm a year older than she is." Oh yeah, you write a grant proposal and the review comes back with the word "still" in it a lot, like he's still active, he's still writing papers, he still has students. Then you go for a bike ride. Alright, so I'm 10 miles out. I stop because I'm exhausted, and I'm sucking water from my water bottle. And every car within a 50-mile radius decides they have to come and see if I'm okay. Are you all right? How you doing there? Everything okay? This is actually true. Last time I did this, state trooper pulled up. This was great. I mean, I think she was ready to put me in the car and take me home. What?
I was like, it's
Yeah, mouth to mouth, right? Thank you. Anyway, so you don't do anything and you get older. That's what happens. Most of the time it's fun, except for when you have to get out of bed in the morning. But it's been great. I recommend it. You lose a few insecurities, you learn to value friendships, and you still can't hold that level, so what? But anyway, thanks everybody for coming out and for making an effort. It's been really nice, and like several people said, I hope to be friends and colleagues with you for many years, assuming you don't piss me off, because at this age I don't have to do anything that I ever want. On the way out you have your memorial gift baskets. What is this, like a birthday party? Yeah, pick them up and bring them back to Ithaca, and if you don't want them, then you can give them to me. Okay, thanks everyone.